We apologize for any delay that there may have been in the transmission in the beginning of this, but it happened.
Okay.
So today, anything you're about to see here is covered under the non-disclosure that everyone has signed. And also, we're going to demonstrate something that we've been waiting to see and we talked about earlier in the week. But to set it up again, it's a language translation that works in real time into 33 languages. And what really helped propel this forward some was Rick LaFon from iActing Studios, where we're at right now, ironically.
Hi guys, good morning.
And now casting.
Now casting and the Players Directory.
Players Directory.
Right.
And other things to be announced soon because he's so bored.
Right.
Just kidding. So how would it help your iActing Studios or casting or Players Directory to be automatically in 33 languages?
It would increase my revenue stream and market penetration enormously. To have the capability to not only project the recorded content that I have in different languages for different people all over the world to see in real time, that's just, it's like candy. It's I can't even describe how excited I am to see it. The other level with the casting process is, we do deliver auditions from all over the world with Sony and Lionsgate and ABC Family and all those people. They're constantly doing worldwide
money.
They're constantly doing worldwide searches, and currently they're pretty limited to just the English-speaking markets.
And why is that?
Well, they like to give notes, and there's always going to come a time where the actor's going to meet the director or meet the executive.
Which you can also do with your casting right now.
I can do that right now, but it's a hell of a lot easier in English than it is in German or Swahili or whatever that case may be. But basically what it allows what the platform will allow us to do is do some virtual coaching, do some virtual auditioning, where that doesn't limit the studios with the language barrier. So I know that actors can do their stuff in acting, but sometimes they need their direction in their native tongue, and that might help a great deal.
Okay.
And going back to the iActing Studios, I've been limited to the teachers that I have, the English-speaking teachers. If I can go through the world and find the master teachers in Germany, the master teachers in China, the master teachers in France, and bring them onto the platform as master teachers, not only will that affect my student population all over the world, but it'll also help penetrate the markets that we're going into,
Right.
France, Germany, etc.
Globally.
So, like I said, the opportunities are endless. So that's where I'm seeing this, hoping this will go.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
So we'd like to introduce Melissa English, who's been working on this project since inception, which we started a long time ago.
A very, very, very long time ago.
A long time ago.
So just to give a little bit of history and background, I do have a master's degree in linguistics as well as in archaeology and international business, and I went to school at the University of Georgia. I started off originally at the university as I was finishing my master's degree, kind of working as a sub-associate professor teaching Latin and also teaching linguistics. And essentially I was recruited into the technology industry specifically because of my ability to speak language. I spent probably around 10 years learning many different languages. And so for me, they told me, well, we can teach you technology, but we can't teach you language. And so that was kind of the fumbling block, if you will, and that's how I ended up in the technology industry. A part of that, I immediately started working for NCR, and when I was working for NCR, I did international implementations all over the world. And so essentially I started off doing, basically taking the same Word document and translating it about 50 different times, if you will, because I was translating it into German and then into Spanish and then into Italian and into so forth. And I was going back so much, back and forth, kind of pinging all over the place. And essentially that ended up, becoming a real challenge. So what I realized after working with a few different companies that, built and created technology and then also creating learning management products is if we could instantly go in and if we could translate in real time and if we could destroy the language barrier, that it would save thousands of dollars in translation, needless expenses in learning, tons of languages, and all that time, as I said, I spent probably about 10 years doing that. And I mean, it's kind of silly to feel that you're being replaced by software, but at the same time, that gives you back your life instead of rewriting the same document over and over again, to kind of go in and to really take things to the next level.
So can you show us a demo of the
Yes.
33 languages?
Absolutely. So the first thing that's really nice about this technology is that you're actually dealing with a web page. So what that means is that I have an API that I can embed into any website. So right now, for example, I can determine if I want it to actually be local speech, Google speech, or chat. So right now, for example, I'm going to go in and I'm going to choose Google speech. Now at that point, I can come down here and I can also choose essentially what language I want to have here for my instant translation. And I could come in and I could choose from a different variety, as you see. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to choose Turkish, for example. And I could say, how are you today? And as you see, I have instant translation. Now that can actually be done directly through software, and it can also be done with text-to-speech. Now in the long term, what we would be wanting to do is we would want to take text-to-speech voices and replace them with real voice actors, so that you were going to have a human experience instead of having a software experience, if that makes sense. But as you can see, it's a very powerful tool. Jamale, you're from Istanbul.
Mhm.
Would you please do me a favor and tell me how that translation is?
It's just perfect. Flawless, perfect, very well.
Excellent.
So we hit 100%?
Yes.
I could also determine if I wanted to, I could go in and I could choose maybe Spanish. And as you see, it got the rest of my conversation as well. What is the meaning of life?
Sundays on the 5th of July, 2015.
Constantine, oh yeah, that's perfect.
Another perfect. 2 in a row.
Should we go for number 3?
Sure. I'll do Italian this time. Does anyone here other than me speak Italian?
Does anyone other than me speak another language?
You speak Italian?
No. A little bit? Oh, well then,
Un poco? Okay, perfect. So let's
okay,
take
we
a-
have an un poco on the set. One un poco, please.
So let's go in and take a look here. In what country is Rome?
Des Moines?
There we go.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Zoom in. Come on, zoom a little tighter. That's correct? 100%?
100%,
100%. Okay, good.
100%.
Anybody else?
Percentile.
Any
Gracias.
language requests?
Any requests, guys?
Japanese.
Japanese? Okay.
Did you speak Japanese?
No,
Do you read Japanese?
no,
We're
my
just-
daughter does, she can tell
Oh,
me
do
later.
you call her? Okay, good. Hi, this is Mom. Could you tell me on this webinar if the Japanese work today?
How large is Tokyo?
Bigger than a rice basket.
There you go.
Okay.
And it does actually know katakana and hiragana, so it recommends, or it
I was
recommends.
gonna ask
It
that.
understands all 3 different writing systems.
So can this be done in real time for a television show with multiple conversations? Hi, John.
Yes, it absolutely can be.
Is there a way that you can take the rest of what we're doing here and have it do a translation while we're talking?
Unfortunately, I don't, well, we could do that, but
We're
I,
not mic'd for that.
no, and I also don't want to expand our bandwidth so much since we're running a WebEx as well, if that makes sense. But we will be trying that at Pepper Show, as you're well aware, on Tuesday. So do you want to share a few more details about that?
Tuesday, nice, Pepper got up and left. Tuesday at 2 o'clock, Pepper got up and left. We're gonna have Laura Diaz on, who's been with Fox and ABC. Come on up, Pepper. Pepper J, who is certainly dressed for the moment, her normal charming self. What's your famous line about the lady with braids?
I'm the most gorgeous middle-aged woman with gray hair and braids that you've ever met in your entire life that can't wait to work for you.
Well, there you go.
Now that's branding.
So, the lady who can't wait to work for you does several shows, Actors Entertainment, and Actors Reporter, and Actors E, and Side Beat Music, and
We have an online presence. It's a network called Actors Podcast Network. It has 3 channels: Actors Radio, the magazine online, Actors Reporter, and Actors Entertainment, which services 15 different shows together. And Kurt Kelly is one of our co-producers of Actors E-Chat, and one of our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful voiceover actors and hosts. How did I do?
well, do I need to still send the check?
Please.
Okay. So if you could take your shows and translate them into 33 languages, how does that help your global footprint?
Thank you. Obviously, English is spoken everywhere, but we have an international show.
Don't tell Melissa that.
Okay, great. We have an international show, and many of our guests, we've had over 1,500 guests on the Actors E-Chat show alone, and many of them are for different countries. And that would really open the amount of people that would watch, because even though the young people that come here are happy with English, their families, their friends, their fans, to translate it in real time, in Romanian, Russian, Czechoslovakian, New York. Oh, is that a different language?
Yes, it is. It is. Especially if it's the Bronx versus
Right.
Manhattan.
So the people that are on the show, the guests, and their agents and their managers and their publicists that bring them to me, that pitch them to me, would be extraordinarily happy. For me personally, it would just be ching-ching. It would be, my advertisers would really enjoy it. Lots of money would flow because the amount of people that would see it all over the world, both the video ads and the graphic ads, they'd be very happy, and so would I.
Okay. So on Tuesday with Laura Diaz's show and with the Lucky Harmon show, you can tell the times, we're going to translate them in all languages.
Is that what we're doing, Melissa?
That's what we're
That sounds super. So live Tuesday, July 7th, at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we're having an Actors E-Chat show with Laura Diaz. She's an anchor for Fox 11. She's an independent journalist and a producer, and I'm a big fan of hers. Kurt's going to host that. And then at 4 o'clock, and both of these are at the iActor Studios here in Burbank, California. They are terrific studios with amazing people that help, that make it very easy to be here. Applause, for the crowd, applause, thank you so much. At 4 o'clock, we're going to shoot a Side Beat music show, also here at the iActing Studios. And Lucky Harmon is going to be the guest. He's a hip-hop artist that's a very popular artist. And we're going to translate both of them simultaneously, real time.
Mm-hmm. And he has an incredible social media following, so I'm sure we're gonna see our numbers blow up.
So
with
this is
that.
gonna be fun. This is gonna be our first real test.
Multilingual
Yes,
show.
multilingual to see.
First time it's ever been done anywhere.
There you
And we're
go.
doing it with Pepper Jay.
And thank you so much for including me.
Wow. Getting all tingly and emotional at this moment. Speaking of tingly and emotional, let's talk about the things that a lot of people like to know about, which is financial. And we brought Salazar, who is a wizard at entertainment, at law, at finance. Does religion fall into your food group or not?
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you could give a little explanation about who you are and what your expertise are.
Okay. Greetings, world. I'm Salazar. I come to you by way of iActor Studio in beautiful Burbank, California, and I hail from Southwest Atlanta, Georgia. Basically, we're coming here today to just speak to you a little bit about the technology that we have before you. And as you've seen the media component and the entertainment component, there are also 2 facets that I don't want to be overlooked, which is the actual commerce component, be it international and government. Communication is the science of life. Imagine if you can go anywhere in the world and immediately you can communicate efficiently and effectively with everyone that you interact with. That's going to make you one uninhibited and unhindered individual, and it's going to allow you to have a much more global presence where whether you're an individual, corporation, or a business with a sole proprietorship. So the actual aspects of business, this is at the forefront of the market to revolutionize the way international business is done. This will allow companies in countries to come together and to facilitate trade agreements, contractual relationships, and not have any kind of communication hindrances which will not impede their businesses. On the government level, this will allow governments to come together and to have peace treaties and to have actual negotiations to facilitate better relationships within their governments, which will increase, from my perspective, it will increase global humanity. And that's one of the important things that we look at. So it's also the media side, which of course is, we're in the entertainment capital of the world, so we live, eat, sleep, and breathe entertainment by way of nature of where we happen to be. But there's also the business component that comes with the international business, that also comes with the government markets. Also, this can help global security. The way the government works, anytime there's something that helps another government, say the Department of Defense or our federal government, puts out a master agreement which would allow other subsidiaries of the government to facilitate an interaction with this software. This would assist FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, and our international partners in security such as Interpol, United Nations, and Arab League of Nations. So the actual benefits that this software has is exponential on all levels. And it would have revenue streams in the first 5 million, which we prospect would be anywhere from 75 billion to 500 billion. And that's billion with a B. So the actual components are going to be different based upon what the usage is for. So if the usage is going to be for a contract, of course, the licensing agreement is going to be totally different, whereas if it's going to be for a feature-length film. Because if it's a feature-length film, of course, we're going to be doing a translation that's going to be 90 minutes or thereafter. If it's just a contract, it's going to be, of course, however many pages the contract is. So that's going to be a much more limited agreement. So the actual breakdown of the software, also, we want to implore that it has a digital footprint. So there will be security in place to protect the agreements and protect whatever content, whether it's intellectual property or whether it's your contractual relations or whether it's your trade secrets or your copyright and trademark and patent protected product. So there are actual software and protocol safeguards, if you would, which will protect the content. But it just, each revenue stream is going to be different based upon what the usage is for. So I just wanted to let you know that it's got many different components to it, which will allow us to make a global impact, which allow us to revolutionize not only media, but also business and also government. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to call up Gemma Lay, who works at NTV, and she's going to share some entertainment statistics with us.
Okay. For those who don't know me, my name is Jamie Lay. I work for NBC Turkey, and I have been in the same company like for 13 years. It's been a long time. Okay. As you can see here, there are over 6,100 production houses in the U.S. This is only in the U.S. If you just count the world, it's going to be more. It's not as much as the one that we have in Turkey because we're not as a big country as that you are, but okay. And of those, over 1.25 million is spent among major production houses per quarter on translations. Okay, this is a really strong number. We do spend lots of money on translation, not as much as this one, but we spend too much money on translation as well. There is around $31 billion generated in the space alone, only in the space. And internationally, there are over 40,000 in 149 countries. And
That's 40,000 production houses.
Production houses,
in
okay.
149
Okay, thanks, Melissa. Content is produced and marketed in typically 1 to 2 languages. This is only 1 to 2 languages, so there should be more. And content in 33 languages is a paradigm shift and a game changer. Okay, I would like to say something to you. We do translation in many, many languages, like in Japan, in Japanese, in Chinese, in Italian. We work with translators, but we depend on human beings, like people, real people, which mean that there is a time consumption and too much money involved. If we could just have a system in NBC Turkey and have it work there properly, this means that NBC Turkey is going to just make way much money over this. And it is really going to save us time. So, because there are usually some delays in productions and delays in translations, which probably you should know that, because for
Delays in
example,
production?
yeah, delays in production.
Wow, that happens?
Yes, serious delays in
Oh
production.
my
Which
gosh.
is a chain reaction.
Yeah,
Which affects
and so
everything.
then if your air date is still coming, it doesn't change that fact that you still haven't
Okay,
translated it yet.
I would like to give you a very specific example. For example, Game of Thrones in Turkey, as far as I remember, airs on Sundays. 24 hours later,